Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bunny Cakes, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel for the first time. Today I am going to be reviewing Teen Killers Club by Lily Sparks. This is a book that I got as a free ARC in exchange for an honest review from NetGalley. This book will be published on November 10th, 2020, so later this year. I really enjoyed this book. I read it, one, because I needed to, because of the exchange promise that I made, but also I read it as part of the readathon, used to be booktube-a-thon, the Reading Rush 2020 for this year, so it's one of my books for that, and I really loved this book. So it's about the 17-year-old girl who's convicted of murdering her best friend, except for she doesn't remember any of it. She remembers bits and pieces, like going to the place where her friend was murdered and waking up with her friend's dead body and that sort of thing, but that's about it. And then she spends about a year in prison, and she's presented with this offer, this really almost shady kind of offer that she has to sign real quick or she'll be trapped in prison forever. And so she basically signs up for this assassin training camp that's disguised as a summer sleepaway camp for teens. There's 7 kids in total, so when she gets there, there's 6 other kids there, and they bond, they get to know each other, they try to kill each other. There's paranoia, there's teen angst, there's insta-love and impulse control, and paranoia, and all that sort of fun stuff you get when there's teenagers with mental health issues. All of the kids that are there are considered Class A, and in this book, the government is starting to, anytime you're arrested, especially for a violent crime, they take all of your paperwork and everything surrounding your crime, and they classify you, and Class A's are the most violent, manipulative. They tend to be like psychopaths and that sort of thing. And so everyone here is legitimately a Class A, except for possibly Signal, because she doesn't know that she's killed anybody. And you really get to know the kids, and you see some things that don't quite fit with what everybody's expectations for sociopaths and psychopaths, and you realize that things might not always be straight down to a diagnosis. And so the relationships form, and everything is really fast-paced. There's boot camps and an attack from this unknown stalker at the camp, and there's explosions and boom and all of that sort of fun stuff, and they get sent out on missions, and there's a creepy cult, and it's really, really fun. And there's also flashbacks from Signal as she's starting to remember what actually happened the night that she may have killed her friend. And so it's also unraveling that mystery and the mystery of what's going on. Now, I do wish that they had explored this shadow government thing a little more, and perhaps that they had explored more about what's going on with the government and what they call the protectionists that are kind of out to get the Class A's. But even without that, it's really good. It ends on a semi-kind of cliffhanger. 5 of the characters are up in the air, and they're kind of headed back to the home roost sort of thing. They're all headed back together. That's where we end. And then in the final scenes of the book, you're with Signal and one of the 2 guys that are in her teenage insta-love, angsty love triangle. I really liked this. It was really fun. It's not super deep. There are deep-ish moments. It's not super deep, though. It's a fast read, and I really loved it. I think that it was a really good summer read because of course, it felt like summer camp. It put me in the mind of, like, Riley Sager's The Final Girls, and that sort of thing. It moved fast like that. It had some twists and turns and intrigue that kind of reminded me of that. It's probably why I liked it so much, because I've been reading, or trying to read, all of Riley Sager's books in the last couple of months. Almost there, by the way. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. I read this as part of the Reading Rush 2020. I think I said that earlier. If I didn't, that's why I read it initially. Well, that, and because I got it as an ARC on NetGalley, and I needed to. When this comes out in November, I highly recommend that if you're into thrillers and summer camp and that sort of thing, that you totally check it out. It's a teen YA book, and it's a mystery thriller, but honestly, it felt just as adult as anything I've read from Riley Sager or anything like that. So I think if you're on the fence about whether or not you like YA, this is one that might sort of swing you over to reading YA. Because other than the fact that these are teenagers, it seems just like any other adult thriller to me. I really loved it. Highly recommend it. Again, 5 out of 5 stars. That's all I really have for this review today. Thank you so much for watching my channel, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.